Okay, so that's just a dollar spread. Now let's go back in and look at good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, guys. Well, welcome again. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. This is your boy Francis. If this is your first time, you're welcome. You're welcome to the show. Well, what I have here today is going to be the weekend popular chart demand. Okay, that is what I have going on today. So many requests. I got so many requests for charts, so I'm gonna be doing that. And these are pretty much high price, and you might see a small price stock there as well. So we're gonna get to it. Technical points, target, exit targets, what have you. So these are gonna be different levels to keep an eye on, just in case price gets to that level. But right now, what I'll be talking about now is going to be SPY, what I'm expecting the market to do. Okay, this is not 100% in accuracy. It's just what I think the market is gonna do. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, well, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click on the like button as well if you enjoy this content. All right, now let's get to it. This is SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF, and we've been really trading nicely so far. I have this trend that I've been watching, keeping my eye on right now on the market. Okay, we just broke out of that trend, and I said, if we for any reason break out of this trend, I think we'll be able to visit the 425, 430, of which we are really breaking out of that 425 as my first target. So now we're headed towards the 430 spot. Okay, so if price gets to the 430 spot, then we can make a decision around that area. Overall, if you notice what the SPY is doing, okay, whenever we get to the 50 exponential moving average, we always bounce off that level, right? So the 20 exponential moving average has gotten really weaker, that we cannot hold that level. Now our area is the 50 exponential moving average. So right now we're gonna have a situation whereby the 50 exponential moving average will now be acting as our 20 exponential moving average, being the fact that the 20 exponential moving average is really weak. Okay, so with all this push higher and higher, okay, I'm expecting price to pull back to retest this particular trend in the short term. Okay, and in the long term, I'll be looking for price to visit the 20 exponential moving average again as we continue pushing higher. One thing to note is price is really far away from the 200 moving average. So with that being said, one of these days we're gonna try and pull back and get that correction in the market towards this area right here, which is 400 395 area spot. But we have to fail this 50 moving exponential moving average first and hold right below it. If you notice, we haven't even held below this 50 exponential moving average for a long time. So that define our trend to be an uptrend. So keep an eye on the 430 area spot, or before we get to the 430 area spot for price action. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into other demands, chart demands that we got. And don't forget that whatever stock you're trading, always relate your stock to the market. So because the market is the it's more like your direction, is more like your light into darkness. Okay, so if you're going in the dark direction, the market will lead you towards that area. If the market is trending up, expect your stock to actually trend up. unless the stock is weaker and there is no momentum on that particular stock. Okay, so you will know if your stock is divergent from, or really divert from the market condition pushing higher. Okay, now let's get to the first one. The first one here is Sava. I've traded this Sava multiple times with options call and also with equity, meaning the shares. Okay, I still have my shares, but I'm not in the option side anymore because I took profit when we got close to that area of $90 per share, because I was looking at this area, this spot right there. So for this particular stock, right, just in my opinion, just keep an eye on it, because the fact that the stock has been holding this trend for a while, okay, which in my opinion is really good, because if we can hold this area, or if this area fail, okay, if this area of 78 say $78 fail, we can get to the 71 or $72 area easily. Okay, and that area is your area of support. Okay, this is your area of support right now, in case price decide to drop down drastically, right? So that is your area. Your 20 exponential moving average is your area of support, continuous support. Okay, so keep an eye on this one. I know our MACD is changing direction right here, but our RSI is still around the 61% spot. So keep an eye on it. If we pull back to this support and then bounce off that support, okay, on that one. So right now we look at another stock, which is TDOC, okay, TDOC. For TDOC, what I'm looking for, with this is for price to actually push through this area right now. Okay, we have huge amount of volume coming in, right? So I'm expecting this volume to hold in the coming days, because right now we're just around this resistance, and this is our resistance right here. This is our support before, now acting as a resistance. So keep an eye on this area if we can break towards that 170 spot. On this stock, I will be looking at some call options. Let's take a look at call options as well, okay, on this name TDOC. Okay, I always like to go 45 days out, 30 days or 40 days out. Let's look at the 30 days. Right now we have our 170, the bid and the ask is around 6, 10, 9, 10. So that is a huge amount of spread, like pretty much like $3 spread. That is too much. So I'm gonna look for where hands are really changing. Volume right now, this actually traded really good, which is the 48 contract got sold around this area, but still the bid and ask is just, the spread is too much, so I'm not going to deal with that. Now let's go to the one we have open interest, high open interest, 372, right? So we have this. It is still high, so I'm not going to touch that. So let's get to the 40-day one and look at this one. This is still high, guys. So the only thing is, come to July, let's see. Okay, now you begin to see the open interest is getting higher and higher and higher, right? Now also look at the volume. The highest volume here is this one, got traded 814, right? So now let's look at it. Now you see that the spread is small. Now if you believe that a TDOC will actually push higher, right, will continue to push higher, then you will be looking at taking some around where, let's look at this. This is what we have going on right now, and then we have 430 and 4, which is a 10-cent spread. So you having a 10-cent spread is better than having $3 spread. So if you get in that particular trade, you're losing $3 already, which is, $3, you convert that is your $300 you're actually losing just to get in that trade, right? If assuming the market maker fill you at the ask price. So I will be looking at this area right here, and that will be July 16, and that will be 170 call options, right? In most cases, I do like to get really $1 or $2 close in the money, and your TDOC is trading at or really close at 165.10 right here, right? So with that being said, if I'm looking at it, I'm looking at going in the 165. Okay, if I want to be crazy, then I go for the 170, which is also decent. But remember, once you obtain 50% or more, you start trimming your position on your options. So for me, I'll be looking at this area 165, but the problem is the spread is too much. So I will stay out of this one right now because the spread is just too much. Go to the next one, you have about 40-cent spread. Okay, so for me, I will go with the 170 because there's no, you only have 10 cents spread. So if you get in at 440, which is $440 per contract, then you're only losing $10 if you get in this particular trade compared to the rest where you're going to lose more, right? So 170 is ideal, knowing well that the stock will continue pushing higher and higher, right? So that is that for your TDOC. Okay, now let's get into the next one, and the next one is GME. This is what I have for GME, to be honest. I have this area that we need to break through on GME, but we haven't had the opportunity to break through this 350 spot, right? Right now we're just trailing the 20 exponential moving average right now. If we can hold this 50 exponential moving average, which is this line right here, which is the red line, then we'll push towards that 20 exponential moving average. We break that 20 exponential moving average, we'll be able to see 250, 275, and so on and so forth. For GME, okay, my recommendation is not a buy or sell recommendation. My recommendation is to try as much as you can to get in the money, because the reason why is because you end up being killed by what they call decay. Market makers know that GME AMC options traders always go out of the money, so they try as much as possible to suck in a lot of retail trader and then squash them, right? So it is better, I know it's expensive, but it is better to to actually buy these that are actually trading in the money. Now let's take a look at GME at the option chain side, right? Now take a look at the 16-1, and you're going to see that the stock right now is trading at 209. So right now we have 210 and 205. Okay, look at the spread. The spread is 26 to 29. Okay, that is huge amount of spread. You're just losing $300 straight out of the bag, right? And this one the same thing. Okay, now let's look at the one that has huge amount of contract, which is this one. But we traded one, about 1,000 contract got traded. Let's look at this one. This is the 400. So for me, I wouldn't want to touch AMC if the contract is not close enough. $300, is just too much for me. 3 points is too much, so I need it at a very decent price. Okay, even if you go out of the money, they are still far further away from each other. Okay, now let's go and look at the one for this coming week, right? Now let's look at 210. 210, you see now we have 75 cents spread, right? And this one we have a dollar spread. I rather get in the money, okay, close to in the money, than getting out of the money. So I would rather trade, stock that the spread is just little compared to wider spread. The next option right here is 210. The stock is close to 209.51, so 210 also makes sense, right? Because you're only losing 75 cents. But for me, instead of having to worry too much about the 210, I would just go for the 207 or the 205. But the 205, the spread is too much, and I would look at this. Most people are buying the 210, which is this one right here, which is 75 cents spread, which will cost you $1,500 for one contract. Okay, and earnings report is coming up, and we are pricing in, plus or minus 25, meaning the stock is gonna go up 25 and come down 25. So pretty much we are also taking it as it comes, right? Now let's go to the next one. The next one is going to be Chewy. See right there. Okay, Chewy. So this one, what I'm looking for is for the price to hold this 200 moving average, which is this green line right here, of which it is acting really good. So we close right above it, and also right now we technically we close right above it. Okay, 80.35, and we have 80.27. So we close right above it. Right now I need this price to continue. The next candle, I want to see it right above 80.35, and then I'll pick some call options into this resistance. So as soon as we get into this resistance, I'm taking some out and then continue holding. Overall, I will be looking for staging my position on Chewy for the long term. The reason is because look at the move from the highs. The highs was just around this area of 120. So from there all the way down here, I think I'll be able to get some retracement back down to this area, which is either the $100 area or the $95 spot, right? Next one is Apple. Apple, one thing about Apple is we have this huge bracket of resistance right here. This area is area of resistance. So if we can break through this area, 135, 136, we'll be able to push towards the 140 spot. So keep an eye on it, because they are buying the $139 call and the $138 call. Okay, if you're an option trader, options trader, you want to look at the options trade chain as well. Okay, this is not options class, but I'm just trying to figure out, like we have the $40 one, the 40 days, okay, expire within the 40 days. So I like to go 30 days, 45 days out. So look at the highest open interest, 628. Look at what we're trading at, 87 cents, 184 cents spread, right? So the spread is really huge, almost like $1 on that one. Now let's take a look at where the volume got traded. Let's look at this. We got highest volume right here, 1200 contract got sold there, which is what, 475.9. That is crazy, 129. So no, I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, let's look at the 139. So we have the 139 and the 140 call. Okay, so that's just $1 spread. Now let's go back in and look at the July 16. That's what CNBC we're talking about. Now you see the volume, right, in terms of open interest, guys. Look at how this is huge, and out of it, look at what actually got traded. This one right here, okay, and this one has the highest open interest, the highest volume traded. Now let's go look at it. Okay, right there, and 135, boom, that is it, guys. Okay, so now they are actually, the big money out there is going for the 135 call options on Apple, and that is trading around 147, 150. So you see the spread is nothing, literally nothing, right? So because if you look at this right now, you are doing amazingly well in terms of, hey, let me look at how much I can get away with. Okay, so now you have less than 10 cents of spread. So it is better to go for something like this, that you have huge volume and huge amount of open interest. Now take a look at the next one, okay, which is the 9,000 volume and 159 in terms of open interest, and that they're going for the 140 call options. The 140 call options only have 38 cents to 40 cents, which is 2 cents spread. So this one, so many people will be going for like spending $400 to $1,000 on this one. But you have to realize that the market need to be in your favor. If the market is not in your favor, there is no way you can actually make it. So now they are going for what? Like I said, they're going for the 140 call and the 135. So for me, I will go for the 135, which is close to being in the money, 2 points in the money. So in anticipation of a continuation moving higher, if the market, okay, which is the SPY, continue to push higher, higher and higher, right? Let's get to the next one. ABNB. Okay, ABNB, this one is the MACD is kind of showing a bit of a weakness, but we're still in the positive territory, right? So what I need now is more volume to come in. We are 50% on RSI, right? So I'm expecting price to break the 50 EMA. If we can break this area, we should be all right on Airbnb, right? So 153 is your area of resistance right now into the 155. So you'll be looking for a call option around the 150 or 155 if you can get that, right? Next one is gonna be Fastly, FSLY. This one, I'm looking for price to actually consolidate around here for a push into the $65 spot. Why did I say 65? Because right here we have our support, which will become our resistance, right? So look for price to get into this area in the coming days, right? Next one is going to be our CRWD, CrowdStrike, right? CrowdStrike is forming a flag, okay? This is a flag. It's like you have a flag and you're waving a flag. That signifies bullishness. So this is a bullish flag, okay? This is a BF. I call that BF most times. I'll say, okay, so this is a bullish flag. So I'm expecting this top area to break and push higher. I'll be looking for the 250 call options, 255 call options on this one. Okay, the 250 call options and the 255 call options. Use that same criteria. You're looking at the open interest, okay, and you're also looking at the volume, okay, and you're also looking at what? The spread, guys. You're looking at the spread. So just keep an eye on that one. Also, you're looking at 30 days out to 40 days out. Okay, if you're looking for anything less than 30 days out, you want to be right in the money and then 50% off when you are profitable. Beautiful. Let's get to the next one. Facebook. Facebook is also trending with this market with SPY, so keep an eye on it. Okay, we just need to pull back, and we got the pullback that we need, right? So we pull back to this area of previous resistance, now becoming support. So right now I'm expecting price to continue to push higher as the market pushes higher, right? So now look at volume. It's more greater volume on Friday than on Thursday, right? Now the next one is going to be Roku. Okay, Roku is a beauty. Okay, we've been pushing and pushing and pushing higher into this resistance. So you have to reevaluate your trade. Right now we're putting a bullish hammer signal right now. Okay, this hammer is at the top. So right now you have to know that right at this moment we have what they call a double top. Double top always in most cases signify a reversal, right? So just keep an eye for a confirmation candle to know where we are headed next. Okay, but I expect price to be around the 431, 432 for a continuation higher into 440. Okay, 440 is your next resistance looking left. Okay, it's your resistance. Call options will be decent as well, but also keep an eye out for the puts as well on Roku. Next one is Snap. Snap, I still have my $60, $65 call options on Snap, and I'm just holding the ones that are in the money. Okay, I'm also taking profit on the way up as well. So right now we are exiting right here around this area right now. So I'm expecting price to either continue or pull back towards this area of previous resistance, which will now become support, hopefully. But right now we're making a double bottom right here with these two candles. So keep an eye on a confirmation candle to push higher or lower. Next one is Netflix. Netflix right now, Netflix, we have this trend and we have this resistance right now. So I'm looking for price to push into this 540 spot. But your resistance, immediate resistance, can be defined around this area right here, which is your 530. Okay, if we can break 530, I think we'll be able to get to this 540 spot. Okay, but price must hold 525 in order to push higher on Netflix. The next one on the list of the demands is Nike. Nike has been really good. NKE. Okay, right now we are in the overbought zone. Okay, so understand that we're in the overbought zone. And for me, look at that, MACD really shoots up. So we are really extended, right? And look at the volume. So I'm looking for price to come back and fill this gap at some point. Okay, but first, if price shoots up towards the 155 and hold the 155, we may continue pushing higher. But we are extended in terms of RSI. But you never know how long a stock can be in the overbought or in the oversold spot, right? So all you got to do is just to look for sign of weakness on that particular name. BYND. BYND, what I'm looking for on this is for this trend to break. Okay, we've been consolidating around this area for a while, so I need this 150 to actually break and hold. Okay, I didn't say break, I want it to break and hold. So I'm expecting a price to break through this area, pull back, retest that trend, and start pushing higher. Overall, I have my target on this. Okay, I've achieved the 155 around here and the 150. So if price break through 150, we can get to 155, 160, and then hold this 165 spot. Okay, on a BYND. Overall, the stock actually has made us, an exponential move. But guess what? I'm still waiting for this price to actually confirm our reversal. Okay, which if you look at this area right here, this is what we call our inverse head and shoulder, which is a bullish chart pattern in my opinion. So inverse head and shoulder. When we made head and shoulder here, guess what happened? We pull back. Okay, so that is for BYND, the fake meat. Alibaba. What is going on with this? we actually made a double bottom. I saw that we're making a double bottom here, and I took some call options. I took the 215, the 220, 225, and I've been, just taking profit as we push higher into this 230. My last position is still there. I still have a quarter of a size on the 225 call options, okay, because those are the ones that are really closing the money, and then rolled it over to the 230. So I'm just anticipating a continuation higher on this one, but the 230 is another area of resistance. Support right now is around the 225. Okay, if we reject this 230, I'm expecting a continuation candle on this one into higher price. So, but just keep an eye on that name, okay? Next one is gonna be PATH. This is Cathy Wood stock. She's been buying and buying and buying this. So I don't have a position yet. I traded it for a few bucks, but I'm looking for a long time position on this. The reason is because we are setting up really nice. We actually did the IP around this area. Stock should pull back to this area, which is pretty good, which is more than 50% retracement, right? I should be getting in here. I got in at some point and then took profit off here. When we tried to make this double bottom, we couldn't go anymore, so I took all my position out, and now I'm trying some here, took some day trade pretty much, but I'm looking to stage the trade. I'm looking to actually pick some position for a long term, because why, we have Cathy Wood in this trade, and I like the way she does her trades as well. So right now we're just hinching higher and higher on the MACD side. I just need this to start coiling back up, and volume is coming in. By volume, we have 47% RSI. So this is for a long term for me. It's not for short term anymore. Okay, next one is QSI. High capital. This one too, she is also buying on this one. Cathy Wood, Cathy, yo. Volume is not there, but I think we have all this buy volume pushing this particular stock up. I wanted to start getting into this, but I wasn't sure if we were gonna make a decent inverse head and shoulder, but we just broke right through this level. So my next area of resistance is around into the between the $12.50 $13 spot. So I'll be looking for price to base around this area for confirmation, then I can pick some up for a long term, not a short term, because we have this area right here. Okay, we have that area right here to fill for the next 6 to a year. Okay, next one is gonna be BYD. BYD, this one for me is a buy and hold. I have options, but I don't have. I have the $195 and $200 call options. I'm planning on getting out of the money on this one with the 210 call options. Okay, I'm also looking for price to hold this area. Okay, I will be taking some position long on the equity side, because we are now above the 50 moving average on BYD. NIO, so many people have been talking about NIO as well. So we have this right here flag, which you can also call this a peanut as well. Okay, so for me this is a bullish setup. If this price can hold this trend right here, this uptrend, if we can hold this uptrend, that is fine. But I also have a wiggle room. If the price doesn't hold this uptrend and pull to the 20 exponential moving average, that is also a good thing as well, which is 43 as your support, right? But for me, I always like to go a little bit below that area so that the market maker will not take me out of my cheese, right? My candies. This one is Disca, right? This one is also coiling up, but your risk is just the lows of this area right now, because right now we're trying to break right through the 20 exponential moving average. Your overhead resistance is the 50 and the 200. So right now you're looking at, risking about $2 to make $4. Okay, so that is really decent risk reward in my opinion, if we can push through this $34 spot. This is a long term, because for me, Discovery, I don't know, they're not gonna go bankrupt, right? But they can try as much as they can to fix the company, because I am looking for this kind of exponential growth in, right on this particular stock. So we might not get it, but I'm looking for something, some kind of form of a push on the name, okay, which is same thing as VIAC. So BBIG, this one also the same thing. I'm looking for this area to hold. Remember I talked about this on NIO, right? That this is forming a peanut, and as a result, I want this 20 exponential moving average to hold if this trend doesn't hold. So the same thing happening right here on BBIG. Okay, so this BBIG right now, we failed that little short trend and pulled down to the 20 exponential moving average. So we need to hold this area for continuation higher. Right now we have a doji right here right now, so we don't know which direction we're going. We're that going up or we're going down, but right now this is going to act as your trend support. Okay, if you don't see the trend, this right here is acting right now as a support, so you expect price to hold that area and support that area. Okay, the next one is going to be Sophie. Okay, I'm sorry this is taking long, but these are the charts that came through. Okay, I will just run through it real fast. So this one right now, I'm not long this one. I'm just looking for price to hold this previous resistance, which will now act as a support. Okay, so keep an eye on that one. BNGO, this one is a beauty as well. Just keep an eye. If we cannot break through into this $8 spot and fail this support, okay, our next level is going to be the $6 spot, then this area. But keep an eye on it. If more volume comes in as we're having right now, we can push through that $8 and then $9 on BNGO. The next one is going to be Space. Okay, I traded this one, and I'm expecting this to continue into the $60 spot. If momentum fades, because we are really extended in terms of RSI, but still, like I said, we don't know how long we're going to be in this overbought territory. You see how we're in the overbought zone, right? And then we start pushing higher and higher. News came out, and then we just shoot right up. So keep an eye on it. The volume is really cool, but at the same time, I'm also watching my back just in case the stock decide to pull back and fill this gap. Okay. VIC, I talked about this one earlier on, and we're really breaking out of resistance spots. So keep an eye on this one. I do like this one. Call options also is very important. This pen has too many overhead resistance. Look for price to just hold this double bottom, and then we start pushing higher on pen. LOTZ, this one, I like the beauty of this one, because guess what, we have inverse head and shoulder right now forming on this one for price to continue pushing higher. The price need to hold this area that we have currently, for momentum. This one also is also flagging, so keep an eye on the $20 break. If we break this $20, $22, we come easy, and then $25 spot. Mind Medicine, this one also, this is a stock that you just buy and just stock it away. Right now we have this area, okay, which is technically inverse head and shoulder, but we're holding this trend at this moment. Okay, we're holding this trend, so expect price to push into this $4, and then we can continue higher. If this trend break, it will pull down towards this $2.75 on Mind Medicine, MNMD. WKHS, this one as well, keep an eye on it, workhorse. Okay, keep an eye on this one, because right now we have this area. Your support is this trend right here, which is also around our moving average. Okay, so keep an eye on price. Okay, your resistance right now is going to be that $20.1982 spot. Okay, on WKHS. Root, keep an eye on this one as well, because we have this inverse head and shoulder. So I like the fact that we're basing around here and we have this huge hammer, so keep an eye on that one. DSS, the same thing, keep an eye on this one, because the offering is already done. For me, this is going to be like a long-term stock to hold, okay, for price to push towards this resistance 220-265 spot, right? UWMC, keep an eye on this pennant as well, because we're really, you know, holding this level, because this area was a resistance. Now we're just acting as a support, so keep an eye on it for price to bounce off this area. Your support is going to be around this area, which is going to be your stop loss, right? ROKT, keep an eye on ROKT, because we have this right here. This is your support and this is your resistance. So 2070 is your resistance, so we can push towards that area, reject it, then break through on ROKT. That ROKT is for long term. This FUBU is also long term. We're running into resistance, which is normal. I want price to get back into that $35 spot, then break it towards that $40 spot on FUBU. This is my long-term portfolio, because I've been in this since what, the $16, $17 spot, and I just kept adding to my position into, you know, waiting for the $40, $50 on this name. Okay, Palantir as well is the same, pretty much the same thing, running into, you know, almost a resistance right here. I'm looking for $30 on Palantir and more. Okay, Wish, this one I also like the momentum coming into the name. Okay, my support right now is this trend, so we must hold this trend and then push towards that $16. Overall, I want the $15 to break into the 16, and then we'll push towards $20 on Wish. Okay, that is it pretty much. There's one more that someone put in on the chart. Let's look at that real quick. Is going to be Grow. Okay, Urban Grow, this one right now we've been I have some position, but just little, because why? We made a double bottom. Okay, because we made a double bottom here. Okay, I've been waiting for price to tap this 20 exponential moving average, and look at how we've been, you know, flirting with this level, pull back, made a double bottom, and started pushing higher. Now we're flirting with the 50 moving average, so I'm expecting price to continue pushing higher as well on this particular name. Okay, so keep an eye on it, because I really do like this one. And final one is Tellery. Okay, Tellery, we are about to break out of the 2050 moving average, exponential moving average, which is this 1820, 1813 area. Right now price is above it, which is good, so I'm expecting price to push towards, you know, this $20 spot, which is our trend resistance. Okay, and then continue pushing higher on this name. Right now this trend is your trend support. This is going to be your stop loss on it. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click on the like button, turn on the notification. If you have any questions, concern, if you have any doubt on any stock, go ahead and email me at tradingsuccessshow@gmail.com. I will respond just like I did on this weekend popular chart demand from traders out there. Pretty much that is it, guys. Keep an eye out for the next video, and I hope you enjoy this one. Peace and love, guys. Bye bye.